Dobrý den. Today is going to be different. I'm not going to do a lesson as such, but what I wanted to do was give you some information about resources that you can use to help your studying, to go alongside the videos that I'm doing, some extra things. I had this idea because lots of people have written to me on messages, which is really great, thanks for that. Anna and Torun from Sweden, and also Kwame Opong, and they were asking me about how they could get a deeper understanding and some resources and things like that. So I just thought I'd suggest some today. Okay. A good start out book that you could use, this is a textbook, is Czech Step by Step by Lida Holler. It gives you the basic grammar, sets out the tenses, and also gives you some good vocabulary sheets, so you can really get a solid grounding with this book. I quite like it. It's not the most modern looking book, but I think as a starting point it's not too bad. If you can get through that book, you can then move on to this one. It's just Czech Step by Step 2, again by Lida Holler and also Pavla Borzilova. This one actually I prefer. It's a little bit more modern looking than the first one in the series. Some nice colour images, there's some good articles to read. This is the book that I'm currently using. If you're a complete beginner, don't start on this one, it will be too difficult. But use the yellow one, and then later on this could be a good place to move on to. Both these books I've mentioned, or this step-by-step series, they have CDs with them so you can do listenings. They also have little pamphlets with some very useful information like numbers and some irregular verbs, grammar, how to decline things, that type of thing. It's very useful. If you don't want the step-by-step series, another alternative you can have is this Czech Express. This is the second in the series, but there's a Czech Express 1 as well. This one, you can see here the level A1, A2. The first one is obviously beginners A1. This Czech Express 2 isn't anything like as difficult as the step-by-step 2 book. It's quite good, it's quite modern, it's colourful. It has really useful phrases that you might use in everyday life, in everyday situations, like going to the hospital or things like that. So it tries to be very practical. I quite like it. And it also has a useful appendices as well. Okay. There's a third textbook which I don't have a copy of with me now, which is called Colloquial Czech. I like the way that's written. It's not in so much grammar charts, but it goes through things nicely. It's a different style of book, but I like it. So that's another one I suggest. Colloquial Czech. You can look it up on Google. One book, a reference book that I want to suggest is this one, 401 Czech Verbs. This is brilliant. If you're having any trouble working out how different verbs decline, this is a really good reference point. I always have it on my desk when I'm reading things, when I'm trying to write things, because I can just flick to somewhere and, for example, here we've got otevřít, open, and it just shows you completely how the verb works and gives you different alternatives of the verb, and it's just a really great reference book, so I recommend that one a lot. Finally, I want to show you some things that you might want to use for, in addition to your textbooks, for reading, for expanding your vocab, and just for getting an interest. There's a little series. This is fairy tales, and this is some Czech legends, Czech and Moravian legends. I like these. They're graded readers, which means that, for example, this one at the back, you have a list of levels, the top being the easiest and the bottom the hardest. You see this one is A2, so you can see what level this book is aimed at. So the vocabulary should be for that, and the length should be for people of that ability. It's also good because it's got a dictionary at the back, which is in Czech, English, German and Russian. So that's really helpful. Okay. And there's also CDs, so you can do the listening as well to improve all your skills. And they have some little exercises to help you practice the vocabulary you've learnt and the grammar you've seen in the different stories. And it will also help you learn some more about Czech culture, because you learn about the fairy tales and the legends that they have here. So I highly recommend that. Okay, I'm sure lots of other people watching this have got some other ideas or maybe some other suggestions, so please leave your comments about that, or little video or anything you want, or any experiences you've got of good resources online or written, published, doesn't matter. Okay, so a little bit different today, but thank you very much, and thanks for all your messages. Na shledanou.